At 61 years old, Melissa Gilbert has finally decided to reveal a truth she carried for a lifetime. A truth about her journey, her struggles, her career, and most famously, her complicated bond with her Little House on the Prairie co-star Melissa Sue Anderson. Fans had been whispering for decades, wondering what really happened behind the scenes of one of the most beloved shows in American television. And now, Melissa is ready to speak. Not out of bitterness, not out of nostalgia, but out of clarity, the kind that comes only with age, time, and perspective. But to understand what she reveals today, you have to understand where she came from. Melissa Ellen Gilbert was born on May 8, 1964, in Los Angeles, California, a city where dreams rise, collapse, and resurrect themselves every single day. She came into the world as the biological daughter of David Darlington and Kathy Wood, a young couple fighting financial struggles so deep that they felt they couldn't give their newborn daughter the life she deserved. With heavy hearts, they made the painful choice to place her for adoption, believing that love sometimes means letting go. Just one day after her birth, Melissa was adopted by actor Paul Gilbert and his wife Barbara Crane, who welcomed her into a world of scripts, rehearsals, and flashing lights. Paul, a well-seasoned actor, and Barbara, a dancer and the daughter of legendary comedy writer Harry Crane, filled Melissa's early years with creativity and the rhythm of show business. Her childhood offered warmth, talent, and exposure, but it also carried its share of turmoil. Her adoptive parents divorced when she was 8, and she suddenly found herself navigating new family dynamics as Barbara Crane remarried Harold Abels, a marriage that also later ended in divorce. From that second marriage came Melissa's half-sister, Sarah Rebecca Abels, known to the world as Sarah Gilbert from Roseanne. But the deepest heartbreak arrived in 1976 when her father Paul Gilbert passed away from a stroke. She was only 11. The grief was profound, shaping her understanding of loss long before most children her age had even learned its definition. She grew up practicing Jewish customs, though never formally converted, grounding her life in tradition even as Hollywood spun relentlessly around her. But Melissa was more than a child caught in chaos. She was a natural performer. With her expressive eyes and magnetic presence, she quickly earned roles in commercials, including one alongside Lorne Greene for Alpo Dog Food. Yet her defining moment came when she auditioned for a role that would alter her life forever. Laura Ingalls in Little House on the Prairie. More than 500 girls auditioned. The competition was intense, but there was something about Melissa, something sincere, warm, and unmistakably real, that made her stand out. She learned she had landed the role not from a studio executive, but from Leslie Landon, the daughter of Michael Landon, right at school. It was a moment that marked the beginning of an era. From 1974 to 1983, Little House on the Prairie became one of the most beloved shows in American television history. Families gathered around their TVs to watch the Ingalls family face hardship, joy, heartbreak, and triumph on the prairies of the American frontier. At the center of it was Melissa Gilbert, whose depiction of Laura captured both innocence and inner fire. Her brother Jonathan Gilbert joined the cast as Willie Allison, deepening the connection between Melissa's real and fictional worlds. As her stardom grew, Melissa branched into major roles: The Miracle Worker in 1979, The Diary of Anne Frank in 1980, Splendor in the Grass in 1981, and Choices of the Heart in 1983, where she portrayed humanitarian Jean Donovan. Her ability to handle dramatic, emotional roles revealed a depth of talent that went far beyond her early television fame. Entering adulthood, she continued to challenge herself with roles in Choices 1986 and A Family of Strangers 1993. And she voiced Batgirl in Batman, the animated series, bringing strength and intelligence to the iconic character. In 1996, she joined the cast of Babylon 5 as Anna Sheridan, performing alongside her then-husband Bruce Boxleitner. Not every chapter of her career shone brightly. Projects like Stand By Your Man, Little House, A New Beginning, and Sweet Justice struggled to find audiences, but failure never broke her. If anything, it sharpened her resilience. In 2006, she appeared on Nip Tuck as a woman undergoing a shocking plastic surgery procedure, a daring role that showcased her willingness to step outside her comfort zone. Then came a poetic full-circle moment. She starred as Caroline Ingalls, the role once played by Karen Grassel, in the stage musical adaptation of Little House on the Prairie, directed by Francesca Zambello, touring the country from 2008 to 2010. She reconnected with the story that had shaped the foundation of her life and career. In 2009, Melissa Gilbert released her deeply personal memoir, Prairie Tale, a raw, fearless dive into the truth behind her public image. It was the first time she allowed the world to see her not as Laura Ingalls, not as America's sweetheart from Little House on the Prairie, but as Melissa, a woman shaped, tested, broken, and rebuilt by the extraordinary life she had lived. But even after revealing so much, Melissa's journey of reinvention was far from over. In 2012, she surprised fans by joining the cast of Dancing with the Stars, where she partnered with professional dancer Maxim Chmerkovskiy. Week after week, she fought through intense rehearsals, brutal injuries, and the physical demands of the competition. She pushed herself harder than she had in years, determined to show the world her strength. But Melissa wasn't finished growing, changing, or surprising the world. In 2015, she made a bold and unexpected announcement. She was running for Congress in Michigan's 8th District. Her campaign wasn't built on spectacle. It was driven by genuine passion, compassion, and a desire to help everyday Americans. She knocked on doors, gave speeches, and connected deeply with voters. But just as her campaign gained momentum, lingering issues from a spinal injury forced her to withdraw. It was a painful decision, but she chose her health over ambition. Even then, she refused to step back from creativity, continuing to direct, produce, and develop projects through her company Half Pint Productions. Her love life, like her career, had been a journey of lessons learned and strength earned. Her marriage to Bo Brinkman, beginning in 1988, was fiery, intense, and ultimately unsustainable. They divorced in 1994, leaving Melissa wiser but emotionally bruised. In 1995, she married actor Bruce Boxleitner, a partnership that lasted 16 years and saw its own share of challenges, fame, blended family struggles, and emotional evolution. When that marriage ended in 2011, Melissa found herself once again standing at a crossroads. But in 2013, she discovered a different kind of love, a calmer, steadier, more grounded bond when she married actor and director Timothy Busfield. With him, she found partnership rooted in mutual respect, emotional safety, and creative harmony. For the first time in her life, she felt aligned, understood, and truly settled. And now, at 61 years old, Melissa felt ready to address the question that fans had whispered about for decades. What was her real relationship with Melissa Sue Anderson, the actress who played her older sister Mary Ingalls on Little House on the Prairie? Her answer was not dramatic, but it was astonishingly honest. "We had a connection from the start," she said. "But we were kids working long hours, playing emotional roles under the pressure of fame we didn't ask for. People thought we were perfect girls with perfect lives," Melissa explained. "But the reality was, we were just children trying to survive in a world that didn't give us the room to be normal. There was never a feud, never hatred, never betrayal. Instead, there were the natural tensions that form between two very different personalities growing up side by side under bright lights and constant scrutiny." Melissa Sue Anderson was focused, quiet, deliberate. Melissa said, "I was emotional, outgoing, impulsive. We were opposites, but that doesn't mean we didn't care about each other." She spoke of Melissa Sue Anderson with admiration and affection. "She is one of the most genuine, talented people I've ever worked with. Her professionalism taught me so much. Her quiet strength inspired me." Then she explained why she chose to speak now, at 61. "After a lifetime of silence, when you're young, everything feels sharp," she said. "At 61, you soften. You see the whole picture. You let go of old stories. You honor the truth instead of the narrative people created for you." She wanted people to understand a simple truth. Friendships formed in childhood, especially childhood under the spotlight, are rarely predictable. "People assume you'll stay best friends forever just because you work together," she said. "But life doesn't work like that. Friendship is about timing, personality, and growth." And finally, she offered a message that touched the hearts of fans everywhere. "Melissa Sue and I shared some of the most formative years of our lives. That bond will always exist. It just looks different than people expected, and that's okay." At 61, Melissa Gilbert's truth is finally spoken, honest, human, and long overdue. If her journey moved you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so we can keep honoring the stories that shaped generations. Thanks for watching.